Hi and welcome everyone. This is the Hobo Prepper. I am Friar Tuck. All right, this is going to be on the hobo tutorial tier. Now, what I'm going to be talking about today is social networking, and it is important for you, especially if you are going to be traveling, is to be able to get into a town and to be able to do your social networking. Now, it depends upon, you, who you are, how you feel about communicating with people and things like that. Because I've been part of the homeless community for such a long time, and, I kind of, that's my comfort zone. I'm able to go into the homeless community and be like, okay, I need this resource, and this resource. And usually sometimes you can find it in shelters, and sometimes you can find it, you can find it just by talking to other homeless. But here's the thing: if you come into a city and you're new, it is kind of hard for them to kind of help you social network, because people are going to watch you. They're going to see, are you one of us, or are you an undercover, or are you, what type of person are you? And they're gonna sit back and they're gonna watch you. Now, me, because I went and I stayed in the shelter the first night, as I'm staying in the shelter, I'm able to ask questions because I've kind of already showed that I'm one of them. I'm sleeping there. I kind of understand things, but also it's about demeanor and how you conduct yourself. Homeless conduct themselves a little bit different than housed people. They don't have as much scruples when it comes to doing certain things, or taking advantage of certain things. So, for me, because I've been part of the community for such a long time, it's easy for me to go in and put myself out there. But some of the things that I've been looking for, and this goes for pretty much any resource that you want. I have found, since I've been here, one of the first things I asked is, okay, if I need quick work, where can I go? What can I do? They're always going to refer you to a labor hall, because a labor hall is work today, pay today. And a lot of homeless, that's one of the things that they're going to want to do is, they're going to want to, work today, get paid today, so that they can go either take care of their needs, or they can take care of an addiction, depending upon, where you're at in life and kind of what puts you out here to begin with. And so, for me, that was one of the first places, and I said, okay, that's great, but I may be staying here for a couple of months, and I need actual jobs. What places around here are hiring? And because the homeless, they will go get a job, work it for a little bit, and then just move on, or, something comes up that causes them to lose their job. They will, they know all the places where you can get quick work without worrying about background check, without worrying about a piss test, or without worrying about the things that most people have to worry about. Or, they know where you can go get work where you're not going to have to wait, to go through the application process. So, for example, I asked, it's like, okay, I need to be able to get quick work. Where can I go outside of the labor hall? And so this is where I was referred to a couple of the food processing plants around here, and that made it so I could go. And they said, look, they're always hiring, they always need people. Here's how you work this job. As far as a lot of people, they'll just do it for the orientation and then they'll skip out just because they want a quick paycheck. Or, you can stay for a long period of time, however you choose. This is what they're paying. This is, if you want them to hire you, this is what you got to do. Because there are those within the homeless community that are workers. I think it's a larger majority of the homeless community than gets credit, is that, there are those out there that work, but yet they still sleep outside, they live outside, and they still live within the homeless community for various reasons, whether it be economics, or whether it be just because they've been institutionalized over time. So, this is one of the areas where I was referred to. Now, if you're going to go to a day labor place, a lot of that is going to be construction. So if you're not into construction, day labor may be out of the question for you. And secondly, you need to make sure that you have a pair of work boots and a pair of jeans. So if you're like me and you're a short and t-shirt guy that has trail runners on, well, the day labor place isn't going to be for you. Another place that you could always go is temp agencies. As long as you go in there looking clean, and you look like you're not strung out and all this other stuff, those guys will work with you as well. So I filled out an application there as well. Another quick place to be able to get work, and this right now is because of all of the dumb stuff that's happened due to the cough. Okay, so there's a lot of places that are looking for employees, but just because they say they're looking for employees doesn't mean that they're actually hiring. They're waiting for something to change or something like that, but they're not really. It's really weird because I've seen a lot of, we're hiring. It's like, okay, I'm here. What are you looking for? I can do that. Great. So when can we do an interview? And because apparently they're desperate for employees, but they're not really desperate for employees. So this is something that, as somebody who's looking for work or something that's sustainable, it's not necessarily they're not necessarily being honest that they are looking for work. They just kind of have the now hiring because they're looking for that special employee, but then they're closing off all the avenues to find those special employees because they're too busy discriminating for one reason or another. Okay, but there are those places out there that are like, we're hiring right now. McDonald's and all these other places, they're hiring. So I filled out the online application and got an interview scheduled immediately. So next week I've got an interview scheduled with McDonald's. Next week I got to follow up with the with Pilgrim Foods, so that maybe I can get in with the processing plant. And also I have an app for the temp service so that I can keep an eye on openings that are going on there that I qualify for. And this is, if you're trying to get into a city and find work quick, this seems to be the way to do it, the best and the easiest. So if this is something that you're looking to do as far as finding work, as far as just making your own money without having to be a beggar, this is an avenue in which you can do. But again, you're going to want to network with those within the community that you're in. So as a traveler, if you're bugging out, however it may be, you're going to want to network within the homeless community, and you're going to want to talk to them and be like, where do I find the things that I need to find? Whether it be, okay, I need food, I need healthcare, I need bus tokens, I need clothes, I need this or I need that. There's always somebody within the community, and usually quite a few people within the community that know where all the resources are, either because they use them themselves or because they exploit those services for their own personal gain. So these are some things that you can do as an individual as you go through cities, and you're going to have a lot more luck in cities, that are big enough for a shelter. And if they're big enough for a shelter, they're big enough for a bus system. And so those are going to be the cities in where you're going to have your best luck. Now, if you go into smaller cities, it's going to be much harder to find work. You're going to have to really make yourself known and really talk with people, maybe network like I did when I went through Cave Springs. I talked with one of the city council members who was part of the Trail Association, and that was how I got the job at Boondocks, because it was these guys had connections and they knew people, and because I was a hiker, I was within that community, they were able to use that as my reputation to be able to say, okay, this guy's going to be a hard worker, he's going to show up, he's going to do his job, because it's in my best interest to put my best foot forward within the hiker community, because it's going to directly affect the next guy that comes behind me, and just like the guy in front of you is going to affect what happens to you. So you should always be aware of that, and always make sure that you are upright and honest in the way that you do things. Okay, so I hope that this helped you. This is the hobo tutorial for this week, and I will see you next week in the next video.